What is up, traders? We have a crazy next week and a half coming up. June ends on Tuesday and July begins. There will be a ton of volatility coming into this next month. If you can see right here, June is generally mixed up. It's 50-50 for the most part. Who knows how we're going to end? We could end slightly red. We could end deep red. But July has been on a heater every year since 2015. July and summer, it usually starts off good. Everybody just gets on grind up mode. Wall Street goes on vacations. Everything is all good. And so over the weekend, we had peace deal signed, or before the weekend, peace deal signed. Then Israel bombed southern Lebanon. War talks in Switzerland. Trump truthed, and he threatened them with bombs. They didn't like it. They left negotiations. The talks resumed after a little while. Now the talks are going good. And so futures are up from their heavy sell-off right off the bat. But we have a bunch of uncertainty ahead. We don't know how June is really going to be. We have been on a 11-year or 10-year green July. Could that come to an end this year? Who knows? Trump wants the market up, but at the same time, he doesn't really care about the market. But all I know is that we have a bunch of uncertainty coming in for this midterm year. Midterms are a big year. The last midterm year, we rocketed up. We had 9% in 2022. And so 4 years later, we'll see how it goes. We don't know what's on the cusp. We don't know what's going to happen, but we just have to protect both sides, manage our risk, and be very careful. But Kevin Warsh's historical first FOMC meeting and his first appearance as the new Fed chair, and all the changes that are going to be implemented, what sounds to be like 2027. Who knows? It could be sooner than that. But we have dollar momentum. We have to see if that continues. Generally, we had a great close for the dollar. The dollar is strong. If you look at the weekly chart, it looks really good as far as going back up. I don't know what the next week will entail. Who knows? We could get an actual end to the war, and that could blast us up for the rest of the month and then come down. Or peace talks just keep zigzagging this market up, down, up, down. But last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals was 1999, and 9 months later, the NASDAQ topped in 2000. So that is just a little fun fact. And another one is bird flu hits all continents. Who knows how severe this is going to be? I don't know if a pandemic is going to be an issue. And now that I think about it, that it actually, I could see Trump pulling a Democrat move. He has already taken a lot of things that they have showed him and done them. And so could he amp up, or could this administration, could the leaders of the world put out the bird flu? Could we have a midway through summer inside and then lockdown through midterms? That's really far-fetched, and I don't know. I just thought of that. But anyways, seasonality. July looks good. June, we'll have to see where we end. But if I remove this seasonality chart, before I do, look at all this. Last year, we had crazy runs all towards the end of the year. And even December was good. The Santa rally came in full force. And then this year has been good. So we'll have to see. But if I remove this, I have something very interesting. And I have mixed thoughts on this. I don't know what is going to happen. Nobody does. We don't know what the loose cannon administration has loaded up for us. But all we can do is play the charts. Now, just because I am about to say some bearish stuff, and I am turning bearish slowly, but I'm not going to full port puts. I'm not going to go crazy. I don't think now is that time. But I definitely am starting to see some similarities. Over the weekend, I was looking at the SPY daily, and I was going back through times because after a crazy run up like we have had after some very big days, are you looking at this? This is very, very similar. These charts are almost identical. I can definitely see this war ending and we get one crazy pop, two crazy pops, just like what happened when Trump won. I'm not going to go back through that on the charts, but if you go back and look in 2024, November, we rallied straight up for like a week or two. And then we dropped straight down. Uncertainty happened. Midterms are usually the stats are they are always up within 6 months. After 6 months, it gets a little rocky. But generally, after midterms and after that uncertainty is gone, and everybody and Wall Street knows how the government and what bills are going to be likely to be passed, everything kind of levels out and we just continue to grind. We are in a very peculiar time, but we are in a very similar time to right around here. We had came straight up and went sideways and then went straight up again. Are we going to have something real similar to that? I'm not sure. Is this right here? Are we going to start coming down? And then if I zoom out a little bit, you can see what happened. We came down and we tested this area. And so do I think, and it was all around the same time. It all happened around June, July. And so there are some different metrics and some different things happening right now in the economy and with the war. But we very well could stop the rally. There are a lot of bulls out there right now, and a lot of charts are boosting up and some are going sideways. And what happens? Tops aren't always just straight up and straight down. But something like SanDisk, it could start to come straight down. I mean, look at gold and silver. Look what happened. Oil came straight down not too long ago after some peace talks got reignited, and there were some good bullish comments from the Iranians. But if we look at gold did go straight up. This very, very well could happen to your memory plays. This could happen to the market. It could happen very soon. Who knows what the real reason is going to be? But my bet is on the uncertainty of the new Fed. Rate hikes were looking to be on the table. They didn't leave, that's for sure. And so I think we're going to get some wild swings up and down. I think easy mode is done. We either start to stay in this range between 720 and about 760 and creating a level and maybe a few more highs in July, or we just straight blast off in July. But coming up to the elections, we are going to get some real volatility. Whether that means straight up or straight down, I don't know, but it could be range bound, and we could go straight down to a bottom of a range into this range that we are in right now. We could have Monday, which that is where I'm going to be taking light size on Monday. We very well could get a gap up after these war talks come out good. Gap up, we could even crest a new all-time high and then start going down straight from there and create a big weekly red candle for the last week and 2 days of July. So we'll just have to see about that. But I will have a video out on Tuesday for my 2 favorite sectors that I am piling into now that I think they are for sure 2 future sectors that are going to be around. And I think they are a perfect theme. One is for sure a perfect theme for this administration. And so if you can't tell, like I said, I am bearish now. I believe we are in a toppy environment. I think everybody is I think they're going to give us a reason to be bullish. I think this war is really going to end. I think Netanyahu could very well come out in the next couple days and really give a strong message saying they are done bombing. They're done. We just had to take out one more, yada, yada, whatever, however it goes. But I think everything is going to get surfaced with the data centers kind of lagging, the build out, chips being outdated in a very short amount of time, overspending on the build out, the war ending, not ending, whatever is going on with that. The SPY does look like we are in 1998, 99. And it's very well clear where we are right now. We're having a tough time breaking the 760 level. But who knows? Timing this top, I'm not going to just full port puts as we are at all-time highs. If you look, there will be plenty of time. Look at right here. You didn't have to buy puts right here to catch this move, to catch these moves. Yeah, could they have paid really nice with some great risk to reward? But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll be able to see it. It won't be that difficult. Puts are very easy. You can see you have to have the narrative. You have to have the momentum. And when you get some strong candles coming down, and we have an inverse head and shoulders right here, a gap has filled. We have an inside bar. Inside bar, we very well could come up and test 760 and just creep up. We could get up to 763 and call that a top. That could be our gap. The war could end, futures, everything good, everything green. And then that's when they always come and get you. And so I don't think we're just going to fall straight down. And if we do, it will be easy to catch that move. There's always the first move, a little consolidation, and then a bigger second move. Look at 2025 with the tariffs. You can't really call this war this year. There wasn't any really big moves. And so I think there still is a big downside move coming. And I don't even call this 3% day right here. That wasn't even a really big move. Because at the time, that was 4.8%, almost 5%. That's a sizable move. You went this entire range in one day. And so that is what I'm looking for. That is the type of move, bearish move, that I want to capture. And so if we get down to this level, we could shred right through it. Puts aren't okay up here, especially SPY puts. You want to get like a week or two of time and a little and like $10-15 out of the money, and you want to be able to have time. So timing this top is the problem, is where you have to be calculated. I'm not buying puts up here. If anything, I will with very, very small size. But who buys puts at all-time highs? Not smart investors. And so I want to be very clear, though. Even though I am bearish, even though I can start to see some cracks, there is uncertainty with the changes. Everything I had just went over, that doesn't mean I am full sending puts. I just said it, and I said it again. I don't think it's that time yet. Let's see how the end of this month plays out. Let's see how July plays out. And then we can assess the sky is falling scenario. With the amount of swings up and down, there will be plays for both sides. But for now, I have 3 option plays, 3 stocks to swing, and 1 bonus play. The luminaire stocks, Illumina, I think this is coming down and testing a very key support of 150. I don't really like how it looks like it's rolling over, but it is bouncing every single time and creating higher lows and staying on the daily 20 moving average. And so I want to see this thing get above 166 and hold above 167, 168. And then we can shoot for some 190, 200 calls. The 717, 200 call, the spreads are very wide, so we got to be careful. But everything will kind of level out as soon as we get closer to these levels. We might have to pay a little bit more premium, but that will be okay because the 200 calls should very well hit. If we do get some real momentum, the weekly chart does look really good too. And so this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see a break above a level. I want to see it come down and test it and then go a little bit sideways on the weekly chart because you're going to get another big stick just like that. And who knows, this thing, if there could be the SPY could go down and the certain sectors could still be going up. The rest of the market could still keep going down. And so I really like Illumina. I like it for the momentum. I like it because it's just breaking out. Who knows? We could have 3-4 more weeks going straight up. We could have one last day going up like I had just kind of discussed. But I don't really know. I don't think we're just going to sink straight down like we did in 1998, 9-ish, and then fiddle around. And then I may as well show you what we really did in that time period. Because after that, after 98, 99, we bottomed. We didn't even collapse or anything. We just had a big dip. And that was a great buying opportunity. So even though I'm bearish, I still think long term, I think we have a lot to look forward to. I think next year, I think we definitely have to, they're not going to IPO OpenAI and Anthropic at lows. I think just like SpaceX, I think the hype is going to be too real. And then possibly that is when we're going to get, that's when we're going to get some real volatility to the downside. But moving on to CORZ, I saw some gamma squeeze talks on Twitter. This thing looks really good. I don't even think the daily chart does it real justice, but it very well looks like it is being suppressed and propped up at the same time. The weekly chart looks amazing. I'd really like to see it break that 30-50 level, but it looks like it's going there. There's going to be a gamma squeeze coming up, according to a lot of people on Twitter, and if that comes to fruition, this monthly chart could get really crazy, and we could start seeing 40, 45, 50, and who knows, that could last for a couple days and profits get taken and then they slam it back down. Or it could just gap and go and keep going. And so next, SOFI. I think the banking sector has gone up and down, and I really like SOFI right now. It looks a lot like Illumina. I think it's bottomed. It looks really good. It's curling up. I'd really like to see it get above $18.75, $19. But once we get above 19.20, 19.30, I think it's all green skies up until this 300 daily moving average. And we can capture some of this short liquidity up here, and we can take advantage of these $25 calls. And with time, if it happens, if this squeeze happens soon, these 7-cent contracts could run to 30, 40, 50. And if we really get some momentum going straight back up and banks are looking good, I like Goldman Sachs. JPM looks really good too. JPM didn't make the cut simply because the news, and same with Goldman Sachs. I could live to regret this, but I had June 18th, 1,200 calls. They went from 60 cents to $3, and I sold at $2.85. I'm kind of fine leaving Goldman Sachs alone. I want to explore onto some new opportunities. I really like CAT as well. CAT just keeps printing. If we get a real nice retest of 929, 973, let's just send this. And look at this. This is a perfect example of what I want to see. A heavy bearish downside candle, or a top looking chart, and it looks like it's going to go down, and then we gap up. I didn't catch any of this. I had an alert set up here at the all-time high, and I haven't put a position in yet. DE looks pretty good too. The market really does look pretty good. So I'm bearish right now, but as you can see, I have calls. I'm not blind. I know what's happening. I'm just very aware of what a possible bearish outcome could be, what we could entail into this new Fed chair, into midterms. I don't know if we crash before midterms. If it's in August, so be it. Tops have happened in July, generally later in July, and they still end up green. And so we just have to be careful that we could have a fantastic, everything is good, the war ended, and we could live on that for a month or two. We could get past data. Who knows how we're going to start reacting to data? I'm not trading any data. That is going to be left for the professionals with all the big moves who know exactly what's going on. I used to like playing it because you just always did the opposite of the number. But now we have to wait and watch and see what happens with this data. We have to see how price reacts. We don't know if, with all the new changes and how the Fed is going to do business and conduct the way they look at rates, are they going to tell it? We're not going to be able to place trades based on what we think the Fed is going to do anymore. And Kevin Warsh made that abundantly clear. Trump has been talking about that. But those are the three option plays. Illumina 200 call, 717. They're wide spreads. Wait for that to level out. We could even if it gets a big pop, we could go a little further out of the money because $200 is really not that far away for the stock. Core Scientific 7.2. There was only one contract that had a tight spread, and it was the $35 call for July 2nd. And that is honestly, I think the chart is making me like Illumina more just because of the weekly chart. But CORZ is probably my number one play. And so I will likely take that depending on how we open up on Monday. All of these are not recommendations, by the way. But CORZ, if that contract stays very similar, if we open flat for Core Scientific, I'm going to be taking that call. The SOFI, I'm going to put that on the back burner, but it's there for my option plays. But the 7/17th 2025 call is at 7 cents. It seems like a no-brainer. Who knows? We could only go up to 20 cents, but always take profits 10, 15, 20% up. Size for zero on these very cheap plays. Moving on to some common shares. IWM still looks really good. Everything still looks like we're going to keep pumping. And so I'm not just going to start saying that small caps are dead. Realistically, we haven't had the everything rally yet. And so with IWM looking good, I think small caps still look really good. ASP Isotopes, if you just type that ticker in to Twitter and you do some reading, there are a lot of people who have done some really big deep dives. I'm not going to waste your time with that. You go and do some of the work. But this stock is a big player with a lot of institutional buying as of lately. And so that and Nokia has had a bunch of institutional buyers stepping up to the plate. And when the company starts, when CEOs and board members start buying and the price goes down, it's time to start loading, ride their coattails. They know inside and out of the company. Nokia is set for a squeeze, probably along with BlackBerry. Who knows? They report this week, so we got to look out and see what. I'm very interested in BlackBerry's earning this week. That is something. I think Thursday, I will likely re-enter a position. I bought at $4. I actually have some in my IRA down at $2. But ASPI is play number 2. I like how the momentum is looking. Quantum. I have a real... Oh, QH. This is a Titan Trader play. Dude doesn't miss. You kind of just... He speaks and you listen. And I listen. And he has helped me a tremendous amount. So thank you, Titan Traders. TT Stocks on Twitter. Give him a follow. He mentioned QH. And he said, send it to 50. And he may have been joking or pseudo joking, but that stuff happens when he speaks. He said he called the SMX run from $5 or $9. He alerted everybody, was pounding the table at 20, and he could say this thing could run to 100, and it ran to 500. And so I'm riding his coattail. We're breaking above. It's looking very, very good in the after hour session. This is what you want to see in a small cap chart too, in one of these crappy company plays. You want to see it just go straight up. There's big buyers stepping in. And so I bought some Friday evening, and we're going to let this thing ride. I will be taking profits once it gets up to 15, like no matter what. If we hit 15, I am taking profits. And so my last play is QTEX. I really like how I think there's going to be a lot of momentum coming back into quantum. There's probably going to be a headline. I don't know if it's this summer. I don't know if it's next week. But this IPO faded and we're coming straight up. We are currently above where the IPO priced opened. And the 30-minute looks really good. Broke out, used this level as support, and then it's just coming straight up. I don't really like playing IPOs, and so I want to play QTEX. QTEX looks really good. This is also something you want to see in one of these plays. Big pops with sell-offs, but continuing higher lows. And so if this range is anything like this range, we are going up 100%. And if we go up 100% or so, that puts us back towards the all-time high, $3.50, $4. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure, but I already took a position. I am in QH. These are my only positions. I close everything out on Friday. QH and QTEX is what I'm looking to enter. And so those are the plays. And Hertz is the bonus play. I just like the daily and the weekly. I think we have bounced off this very important level of 460 to 490, and we're holding. And that's exactly what you want to see, is a pop, fade, and we very well could keep popping. I don't like that we haven't came down and tested some of this liquidity, but if this is a true breakout and a true rally coming up, I do believe that we're bouncing off the 786. If we can get above the golden pocket and then come back and use it as support, that very well could be on the daily, or it could be on even a smaller time frame if we get one of these candles where we just rip straight $1 in a day. And so I just like the support, the risk to reward. It looks like it's bottomed. We definitely have to get above this trend line. If we cannot get above that and we just go sideways, Hertz Global, it's a pile of crap. It's a terrible stock to trade unless you catch something like this. I just think there are better opportunities, but it is on my watch list. I have a lot more stocks on my watch list, and I will share them on Twitter. So go give me a follow at Risk Flare, and have a good week.